Good morning, Karina here, coach and mentor for highly sensitive people and creator of the program Synchronize Your Life. So every morning or wherever I am, I'm going to try to show you a little bit of the view that I have so that you can start to soak in and feel the amazing power of the Hawaii energy. So welcome. We're going to start today, June 1st, the Feel Lighter in 21 Days experiment. And today's topic for today is making a decision. So part of the reason why I chose this topic was because this conversation comes up a lot around making decisions. How do I know if this decision is the right decision? How do I know if it's going to lead me to the best outcome? And so this is number one, because when you don't make a decision, you start to carry that non-decision with you throughout your days, and it becomes a burden. It becomes something that is consuming your mind. So it's going to feel heavy eventually at some point. And when you avoid making numerous decisions, then sometimes it can be held in your heart, sometimes it can be held in your stomach, sometimes in your head. Okay, so sometimes we get physical ailments when we are not making decisions, because we're not moving forward with something. So there are a couple different types of decisions. So there's decisions that are kind of made for you, sometimes a little bit easier by the universe, something greater than you. And then there are times where you need to make the decision by yourself, okay? And that right there just proves to us that we are co-creators with the universe. We're not just here by ourselves. We are co-creators with something greater than us. And flowing with that in the best way possible is always a good idea. So there are sometimes bigger decisions to make, and those decisions are made for you. So one story that I have is one of my favorite stories, and it was back in 2010. My husband and I, at the time we were together about 2 years, and we quit our jobs and we wanted to do some traveling. And so we didn't know, we had a couple places on our mind. We thought maybe we would go to Australia, New Zealand, or Hawaii. And I remember we were just having so many conversations about this, going back and forth, trying to make the other person decide. No, you decide. No, you decide. No, you decide. And it got to the point where we were fighting about it, we're arguing, or yelling at each other. And I remember we're on Long Island, we're at the beach, and it was like a really, really cold day, but we went to the beach just to make the decision. And I remember us walking back to the car shamefully because we didn't make the decision. Just started yelling at each other for the other person to make it. So very interestingly, we get home, we turn on the computer, headline news on Google or whatever at the time, Yahoo News, said huge earthquake in Australia. Okay, so all of a sudden we looked at each other and we were like, all right, so I guess we're going to Hawaii. Okay, so obviously we're not going to go to Australia, New Zealand in an area that just had an earthquake, because we were concerned that perhaps there might be some after effects, and we didn't want to take any chances. So that right there was, I would say, the universe making that decision for us and putting us exactly where we needed to be. So that is a decision being made for you. But then there are many other smaller decisions made throughout the day that you need to make yourself, because you are living in a world, you're a human being living in a world with free will, and you have personal responsibility, and that is so amazing. Sometimes, we like to think that personal responsibility is something to fear, or free will is fear, because it can make you confused. But this is why you're human. This is why you're alive. You get to choose. You get to create. You get to decide. So if you agree with that so far, give me some thumbs up, give me some likes, show me that you're here, show me that you're listening, and that you are present for this experiment. Okay, so now, making a decision. This has been a topic that I feel a lot of highly sensitive people seem to struggle with. And let's not have it be that way, okay? And so for those of you who are my more intuitive types, then this strategy that I'm going to share with you might seem a little bit easier. So for those of you who are a little bit more of the sensing types on the Myers-Briggs, maybe at first you might feel this is challenging, but even if your personality type says you're intuitive or sensing, it doesn't matter. You're human. You have all the capabilities to do everything, okay? Whether or not you choose to use those abilities, that is up to you, okay? It doesn't mean you can't strengthen it, okay? So it's kind of like saying if you have weak eyes, that you can't do certain exercises to strengthen your eyes. So for me, I wore glasses my whole life, but I also didn't do anything to try to improve my sight. But there are a ton of research out there on exercises and foods and supplements and things that you can take to strengthen your eyes. And that's actually, I've seen that with my mom. As she's gotten older, her eyesight has actually improved and she doesn't need to wear glasses because of different practices that she's done. So same thing with your highly sensitive strengths, okay? One of the highly sensitive strengths is intuition. So here's my little technique for you, okay? The way I like to do it, so first of all, intuition can be used in different ways. So some people see in the mind's eye a yes or a no, okay? Some people feel a heaviness or a lightness, okay? Or some people feel like a flutter in their heart or in their stomach. Other people, let's see, what are some other ways? We have the seeing, we have the feeling. I don't know, those are the two main ones that I use, but if you use your intuition in another way other than seeing with your mind's eye or feeling, please leave it in the comments below so that we can bring in the community energy and we can all support each other in using our intuition in different ways. Okay, so, but this technique I want to share with you is to take your options. Okay, so sometimes we're not even clear on what our options are, and that's often why it's so hard to make a decision, because we're not even sure what our options are. It's like going to a restaurant and they're like, what do you want to eat? And you're like, give me the menu, right? Show me the options. So same thing with your decisions, even as small as it is what am I going to eat today? Okay, so my basic technique is basically, say you have 2 or 3 options, acknowledge what those options are, okay, whether you can look at them or you can use your mind's eye to imagine them in front of you, okay? So let's just say we have two options here. So imagine yourself holding both options and seeing which one feels lighter, okay? So I always choose the lighter option. Why? Because this is something that, I don't remember where I've learned this from, but for me, it's kind of like the Tao, right? You're flowing with the way. So when you flow with the lighter path, then in my experience, I'm always going to be led to the best experience for me. Okay, I'm always going to be led to that which is for my highest good. So feeling for the lighter option. So lots of us, let me try to think. I'm trying to think if there's a specific story I can share with you on when I chose the lighter option. I mean, I do this all the time, whether it's, let's see, actually, okay, one little example, I'll go to the supermarket, and greens is like a really hard thing for me because I have a lot of food sensitivities. And so even sometimes I'm sensitive to different fruits and greens, and my body just very nitpicky and doesn't want to eat certain foods at certain times of the day or certain times of the year, which, you know, it's all good. I love my body, but it can be a little bit frustrating and confusing when I'm at the supermarket. So for example, I'll go to the section of greens and I will look at the kale, the Swiss chard, and the watercress, okay? And I'll imagine those 3 options in my mind, and then I'll feel for which one feels lighter. Oftentimes it's the watercress that feels lighter. Not saying that we can say different reasons of how this intuition works, but the whole point is that intuition is basically you are gathering a lot of information at once, and your mind is thinking so fast, putting it together in a way that it feels a certain way or something lights up for you. Okay, and this is actually a way that we communicate with our unconscious mind, is by tuning into our intuition, by using these techniques of seeing what feels lighter, okay? Another technique is to, if it's something, if it's just one thing, should I do this, should I not do it, you imagine that thing in front of you, okay, but you have to drop in from your headspace into your body. You have to be present. You have to be grounded in your body. You have to be connected to your feelings, okay? So this is one of the reasons why it's so important that you're not disconnected from your emotions, because when you disconnect from your emotions, you are disconnecting from your intuition and a really powerful and probably the most important internal guidance system that you have, okay? So drop from your headspace into your body, okay? And it takes practice, okay? But seeing if you can literally put your hand on your lower abdomen and put your hand on your heart, maybe even start moving your feet around so that you are grounded. If you need to go into nature to ground yourself, if you need to go into nature to just be present, you know, that is a really, really good way to help yourself get present. So again, you put that thing in front of you and then you ask, is this for my highest good? And from there, maybe you see yes, maybe you see a no, okay? You ask your unconscious mind to be clear with you. Unconscious mind, higher self, please be clear with me on what is going to be for my highest good. Is this going to be for my highest good? And then does it say yes? Does it say no? I can't even tell you, okay, just one example of when I use this technique. So 2015, I was living in San Diego and I felt really inspired to host a retreat. And I remember I was doing a lot of journaling. I was in the vision stage. I was picturing where we were going to be, what we were going to do. And I remember from San Diego, we had a road trip, came to New York, and I remember meditating. And I was like, all right, New York, let's do this. Let's do a retreat in New York. And I'm sitting there in my meditation, and I'm trying to tune in to when this retreat is going to happen. And I ask my higher self, I ask my unconscious mind, I ask them, is this retreat going to happen in May, in June, in July? I kept asking for certain months to see what felt lightest and to see if it was a yes or a no. And then I wasn't getting anything. That's the thing. Sometimes my intuition does not light up. I just get nothing, zilch. And that confuses me even more. But because I've been practicing this, I know that there's a reason for that. So sometimes you just have to change the question. So then I asked, am I meant to be doing this retreat right now? And the answer that I got, so annoying, the answer that I got was not yet, just wait. It was just wait. That's what it was. It was just wait. It was very clear. And every single time I came back to this, it said, just wait, just wait. And I was like, seriously, just wait? You want me to wait? Like, life is happening now. Like, this is what's going on now. Like, I want to do a retreat. Like, I was just getting all temper tantrum, 3-year-old, my inner 3-year-old came out. And I just didn't get it. I didn't understand. Why is my higher self telling me, just wait, just wait? I'm not about waiting, okay? But what ended up happening, maybe it was like a month later, I think it was in January, and then end of February, my dad passed away. So obviously, I needed to just wait. There was something that was going to be happening in 2016 that was going to be a big life change for me, and I was going to have to process, and I was going to have to reevaluate and shift and, you know, and decide, you know, what am I going to see about this, about the world now that this person is missing from my life. So that was a time where I asked a yes or no question to my higher self, to my unconscious mind, and I got a very clear answer. So sometimes it said yes, sometimes it says no. Sometimes it says something super vague, like just wait. But at the end of the day, you have to listen to that, okay? But the thing here is that when you ask again. Okay, and you ask again and you ask again, because your intuition speaks to you through repetition. Your intuition speaks to you by giving you the same answer over and over and over again. Your intuition's not going to change on you, okay? Your internal guidance system, what is for your highest good, is not going to change its mind. Ego mind loves to change its mind. That's why you get confused. So if you are confused in your decision-making process, That's because you're stuck in your mind. You're stuck in your ego mind, and you're not asking your internal guidance system what it is going to be that's for your highest good. Okay, so practice this. Okay, next time you go to a restaurant, instead of looking at the whole menu, scan the menu energetically, or ask yourself first, higher self, unconscious mind, body, what do you really want right now? What food is going to resonate with you? What food is going to nourish you right here, right now? Okay? Before you even look at the menu, ask yourself that question and see if maybe it's in your mind's eye, what foods pop up. Is it fish? Is it vegetables? Is it a salad? Is it some sort of, depending on where you're eating, just ask yourself what you want before you even look at the menu. And then once you kind of get an idea of what you want, go to the menu and see what they have, okay? And oftentimes, even if something's not on the menu, especially if it's a kind of a basic thing, usually restaurants are accommodating and they're willing to make what it is that you want, okay? So if it's like a side of vegetables, they don't have that, they can make a side of vegetables for you, okay? It's all about using your voice and just asking for what you need. But we're gonna talk more about that on another day, okay? So today's day 1 of the Feel Lighter in 21 Days experiment is to make a decision, okay? That is my acknowledgement to you. Make a decision. You're gonna feel a whole lot lighter after you do so. Today you have some amazing tips on how to make a decision using your intuition. And if you have any questions, let's leave some comments below. Let's take this conversation to a deeper level so that you can get any clarity that you need, okay? And like I said, this takes practice. I understand if you're not an intuitive type. I understand if you're not a feeler, but it doesn't mean you don't have feelings. It doesn't mean you don't have an intuition. You just use it a little bit differently. So you're gonna have to see what strategies work best for you and the way your body as a highly sensitive person operates. Okay, so not all highly sensitive people are feelers, are intuitives, empaths. Okay, there are highly sensitive people who are thinkers and they are sensors. They use your 5 senses to take in their environment. Okay, but my thing with the 5 senses is that when all of your 5 senses are turned on, your intuition's gonna kick in. Okay, and so for my thinkers out there, welcome in, like see what perspective you have on feelings. If you think that feelings are bad or they have no purpose in the world, then let yourself bust through that limiting belief, because your feelings, your body has so much information to share with you, and you're just missing out on a lot of really important guidance for you. Okay, not saying you have to give up your logical left brain thinker side, of course not. I'm just opening you up to all of your strengths, to all of the ways that you can experience your highly sensitive gift. All right, wonderful. So let's all take a nice deep breath. There you have it, day 1 of the Feel Lighter in 21 Days experiment. So if you'd like to connect with me further, I have a gift for you. Okay, so every day I'm going to remind you that you can go over to my website, synchronizewithin.com, and you can receive my free gift on how to create your vision and thrive as a highly sensitive person. Okay, so this audio recording I created was because I found that highly sensitive people who tend to be more empathic usually don't know what they want. Okay, so, and I only say that because that's been my experience. It's my experience that I am constantly seeing what other people need, that I forget completely to ask myself, what do I want and what do I need? Okay, so this audio is going to help you get clear on what you want, what you need, so you can create your vision and so you can live your life. Okay, because if you don't really know what you want in life, it's really hard to flow into any next chapter that awaits you. All right, so I hope you enjoy that free gift, and I look forward to connecting with you tomorrow, day 2. So stay tuned and have a great rest of your day. All right, bye-bye.